Good morning everyone. My name is Jose Roberto M. Biboso. For today's video, I'm gonna teach you about engineering mathematics. Our topic for today is about conic sections, trigonometry, and solid mensuration. Under the conic sections, let's talk about the circle. First, what is a circle? Circle, defined as the set of all points equidistant from a fixed point called the center. To solve for the center and the radius of a circle, we need to rewrite the general form into standard form, which is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared is equals to r squared. Let's have an example. The given is x squared plus y squared minus 6x plus 8y plus 9 is equals to 0. We recognize this as the general equation of a circle. To rewrite it in standard form, we need to complete the square for both x and y. To complete the square for x, the x terms are x squared minus 6x. Take the half of 6 or negative 6, square it, add and subtract 9 inside the equation. To complete the square for the y terms are y squared plus 8y. Take the half of 8, square it, add and subtract 16 inside the equation. So we rewrite x squared minus 6x plus 9 plus y squared plus 8y plus 16 plus 9 minus 9 minus 16 is equals to 0. So this simplifies to x minus 3 squared plus y plus 4 squared is equals to 16. So the equation now is in standard form. So the center is 3, negative 4, and the radius is 4. So let's have another example. The given is x squared plus y squared plus 4x minus 6y minus 12 is equals to 0. So we recognize this as the general equation of a circle. To rewrite this in standard form, we need to complete the square again for both x and y. To complete the square for x, the x terms are x squared plus 4x. Take the half of 4, square it, add and subtract 4 inside the equation. So to complete the square for y, the y terms are y squared minus 6y. Take the half of negative 6, square it, add and subtract 9 inside the equation. So we can rewrite it as x squared plus 4x plus 4 plus y squared minus 6y plus 9 is equals to 12 plus 4 plus 9. So this simplifies to x plus 2 squared plus y minus 3 squared is equals to 25. So the center is negative 2, positive 3, and the radius is 5. So let's take another example. So the given is x squared plus y squared minus 10x plus 8y plus 15 is equals to 0. So also, we can recognize this as the general equation of a circle. So to rewrite this in the standard form, we need to complete the squares. So to complete the square for x, the x terms are x squared minus 10x. Take the half of negative x, square it, add and subtract 25 inside the equation. To complete the square for the y terms are y squared plus 8y. Take the half of 8, square it, add and subtract 16 inside the equation. So we rewrite x squared minus 10x plus 25 plus y squared plus 8y plus 16 is equals to negative 15 plus 25 plus 16. So we can rewrite it as x minus 5 squared plus y plus 4 squared is equals to 26. This means the circle is centered at 5, negative 4 with a radius of approximately 5.1 units. So let's tackle to the next topic about trigonometry. So what is trigonometry? A branch of mathematics that studies relationship between the angles and the sides of triangles. One of the most fundamental applications of trigonometry is in right triangles, which have one angle equal to 90 degrees. So, a right triangle contains a hypotenuse, opposite, and adjacent. So, a hypotenuse is the longest side opposite to the right angle. The opposite, the side opposite to the angle under consideration. Adjacent, the side next to the angle under consideration. These are the primary trigonometric functions. Sin theta is equals to opposite over hypotenuse. Cos theta is equals to adjacent over hypotenuse. Tangent theta is equals to opposite over adjacent. So, there are also three types of reciprocal functions. The cosecant theta is equals to 1 over sin theta is equals to hypotenuse over opposite. The secant theta is equals to 1 all over cosine theta is equals to hypotenuse over adjacent. So the third one is cotangent theta is equals to 1 over tangent theta is equals to adjacent over opposite. We have the Pythagorean theorem. The relationship between the sides of a right triangle is given by a squared plus b squared is equals to c squared, where a and b are the legs, adjacent and opposite sides, and c is the hypotenuse. So let's have an example. Our first example is Kevin and his scout troops are trying to build a lean-to shelter against a tree. They want to have a 10 feet of floor space between the tree and the base to fit all their sleeping bags, and to be 7 feet tall at its highest point so they can stand underneath it. What length of material do you need to lean against the tree and create a shelter? So the first step that we are gonna do is to draw out a simple graphic to represent the word problem, making sure to include the right triangle. The second step is to label the sides and the angles of the right triangle that were given in the word problem, and identify what piece of missing information we hope to find. So the third step is we need to solve. We need to find the length of the side h given the length of the other two sides. We will use the Pythagorean theorem to do this. We need to use the a squared plus b squared is equals to h squared, with a is equals to 10 feet and b is equals to 7 feet. We can simplify 10 squared is equals to 100 and 7 squared is equals to 49. So our equation becomes 100 plus 49, which is equals to 149 is equals to h squared. Since we have to solve for h, we will take the square root of each side of the equation and then find the length of side h rounded to two decimal places. So the square root of 149 is equals to 12.21. So the length of material required to create the lean-to with the desired dimension is 12.21 feet. So let's have another example. Our second example is Joshua is up in a tree stand to hunt a deer in a forest. If Joshua's tree stand is perched 6 feet up in the tree and the deer is on the ground 24 feet away from the base of the tree, what angle would Joshua need to aim to hit the deer from his tree stand? So, again, our first step is to draw out a simple graphic to represent the word problem, making sure to include the right triangle. The second step, again, is to label the sides and angles of the right triangle that were given in the word problem and identify what piece of missing information we need to find. So the third step is we are going to solve. So looking at this, we can see that in our given trigonometric ratios that the tangent involves in a relationship between the angle and the adjacent and the opposite sides. So we will choose to use this equation. Tangent theta is equals to opposite over adjacent. When we fill in the length of the opposite side, 24 feet, and the length of the adjacent side, 6 feet, we will get the following equation. Tangent theta is equals to 24 all over 6. So we can simplify this fraction into tangent theta is equals to 4. Now, to solve for theta, we need to perform the opposite operations of what's being done to theta. In this case, we need to take the inverse tangent of both sides of the equations to calculate the value of the angle theta in degrees. So, theta is equals to tan negative 1 or arctan 4. So, we need to use the calculator for this one, and if you encode these numbers in your calculator, you will get that theta is equals to 75.96 degrees. Joshua needs to aim at an angle of 75.96 degrees down towards the ground to be aiming at the deer. So let's have another example. So our next example is Abigail is on a diving team at her school and she wants to see where she will land in the pool. If Abigail is on a 20-foot diving board and dives downwards at a 45-degree angle towards the pool, at what distance from the edge of the pool will Abigail hit the water? So again, our first step is to draw a simple graphic to represent the word problem. So second step is to label the sides and angles of the right triangle that were given in the word problem. So the third step is to solve for the missing pieces of the information. So we have an angle, an adjacent side, and are looking for the opposite side. So we will again use the trigonometric ratios. The trigonometric ratios that expresses the relationship between an angle and opposite and adjacent sides is again tangent theta is equals to opposite over adjacent. So that becomes tangent 45 degrees is equals to opposite over 20. This time, we will multiply both sides by 20 to solve for the length of the opposite side. So our equation becomes opposite is equals to 20 tangent 45 degrees. Making sure to use the degree mode on the calculator. We will perform the calculation. Opposite is equals to 20 tan 45 degrees. We'll perform the calculation. So opposite is equals to 20 tan 45 degrees and opposite is equals to 20 times 1, which is the opposite is equals to 20. So Abigail's dive will land 20 feet from the edge of the pool. So let's talk about another topic. So in solid mensuration, let's talk about sphere. A perfectly round 3D object where every point on its surface is equidistant from the center. The key properties of a sphere is the radius, diameter, and circumference. The radius is the distance from the center to any point on the surface. The diameter is the longest distance across the sphere passing through the center. The circumference is the perimeter of a great circle of the sphere. So, the surface area of a sphere is the total area covered by its curved surface and is given by area is equals to 4 pi r squared. The volume of a sphere is the space occupied within it and is given by volume is equals to 4/3 pi r cubed. So let's have an example. A basketball has a radius of 12 centimeters, so find its surface area. So R given is the radius of 12 centimeters, and we need to find the surface area. So in our definition, the surface area of a sphere is the total area covered by its curved surface. So our formula is area is equals to 4 pi r squared. So we are gonna use the 4 pi r squared, and let's input the given, which is 12 centimeters on its radius. So our equation is gonna be like this. Area is equals to 4 pi times 12 squared. So next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna square the 12, which is 144, and we're gonna multiply it to 4. So when we multiply it to 4, our equation is gonna be A is equals to 576 pi. So our pi is approximately 3.1416. So we're gonna multiply the 576 to our pi. So area is approximately 576 times 3.1416. So our answer will be area is equals to 1,810.49 centimeters squared. So that is the surface area of a basketball that has a radius of 12 centimeters. So let's have another example. A football has a diameter of 28 centimeters. Find its volume. So in our definition, the volume of a sphere is space occupied within it and is given by volume is equals to 4 thirds pi r cubed. So we are gonna use this. So we are gonna use volume is equals to 4 over 3 pi r cubed. So in this equation, first we are gonna find the radius. So the formula for radius is equals to diameter all over 2. So our diameter is 28. So let's gonna put 28 all over 2. So 28 all over 2 is equals to 14 centimeters. So that is our radius. So we're gonna input that in our equation to find the volume of the football. So our equation is volume is equals to 4 over 3 pi r squared. Volume is equals to 4 over 3 pi r cubed. So let's put our 14 centimeters radius in our equation. So our equation is gonna be volume is equals to 4 thirds pi 14 cubed. So let's cube the 14 and we're gonna get 2,744. So the next thing that we are gonna do is gonna multiply the 2,744 to 4, which is gonna be 10,976 all over 3 pi. So let's multiply 3.1416, which is our pi, to the 10,976. So we are gonna have 45,921.6. And the last step is we are gonna divide it into 3. So our volume is 15,307.2 centimeters cubed. So that's the volume of our football that has a diameter of 28 centimeters. Let's have another example. A spherical water tank has a radius of 5 meters. How many cubic meters of water can it hold? So our given is a radius of 5 meters. So the missing information is the cubic meters of water that it can hold. So we are gonna use the equation for volume, which is volume is equals to 4 over 3 pi r cubed. So let's put the radius of 5 meters in our equation. So it's gonna be volume is equals to 4 over 3 pi 5 cubed. Let's cube the 5 to find. So now let us cube the 5. So our equation is gonna be volume is equals to 4 over 3 pi 125. The next thing we are gonna do is multiply 125 into 4. So we are going to have 500 all over 3 pi. The next thing that we are going to do is multiply 500 into 3.1416. So, volume is approximately 500 times 3.1416 all over 3. So, let's compute this. So, the spherical water tank with a radius of 5 meters can hold 523.6 cubic centimeters of water. So, that's the end of our discussions for today. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you understand our lesson. Thank you.